Hello, and welcome to Scheduled Disappointment, an interview segment all about my personal biggest disappointments of the year and all the other crap that bugged me. Well, another year of disappointment has passed, and my personal biggest disappointment was Blizzard Entertainment. What happened to you, Blizzard? You used to set the bar for how game genres were made, like Diablo, a game that defined and still defines how hack and loots work to this day. You literally rewrote how all real-time strategy games are made and played with both StarCraft and Warcraft 3, not to mention accidentally creating the Dota genre. You even made massively multiplayer online role-playing games accessible for the masses, and in doing so, created a game that is still being played a decade later, even though it only resembles what it used to be. But then something changed. It was subtle at first, but nonetheless noticeable. Wasn't it odd how StarCraft 2 was being sold in segments, and what was with Diablo 3's real money auction house? Bit out of place for a looter game, wasn't it? Surely just using the WoW style auction house would have been a lot better, but I guess they had to gouge you somewhere. Then Hearthstone landed, and because Blizzard put some shiny pictures on a bunch of digital cards, that apparently made it okay for them to sell loot boxes. Oh, I mean card packs. Speaking of loot boxes, Overwatch. I haven't played Overwatch. I will never play Overwatch, not only because it includes loot boxes, but because I don't enjoy first-person shooters, more so for the community that comes with them than the actual gameplay, although point and click isn't exactly fun. And finally, we get to the reason Blizzard Entertainment disappointed me most of all this year: Diablo 4 Immortal. And yes, I know that's not the correct title. As if Diablo 3 wasn't enough of an unmitigated disaster with its watered down combat and being built from the ground up with consoles in mind, immediately limiting its possible complexity. Just so there is absolutely no ambiguity here, I don't like Diablo 3. It just feels like playing an endless runner with a drip feed of epic loot drops to trigger that addictive quality World of Warcraft patterned to keep the player going, even when they have lost all interest in the game. Now they have further damned it to the hell they have created for themselves by putting it on smartphones. Smartphones, a system that relies on virtual controls and microtransactions to pretend that they are even remotely viable as an option for gamers. Isn't it enough they pushed it off to a company known for nickel and diming their customers with reskinned Diablo knockoffs? Why am I even asking these questions of Blizzard? The company is so out of touch they literally asked a booing audience if they owned smartphones when they unveiled Diablo 4 Immortal. I understand that those people on stage were just rehearsed performers, but if that is the best that the company could come up with for an answer, that is just pathetic. Well, if they don't care, then why should I? Blizzard, you have lost sight of what your company once was and have turned into a predator, only interested in making money above making games for your customers. As far as I'm concerned, we are done. I will never purchase another one of your products again. Am I wrong about Blizzard turning into a money-hungry predator? Or am I just a burnt fanboy for Blizzard? Tell me your opinion. Now on to something else, debatably lighter in tone. Fallout 76. Why do people keep falling for this? A game with 90% copied assets from Fallout 4. A game that consisted of 75% copied assets from Fallout 3. A game so broken and buggy I'm genuinely amazed it wasn't immediately forgotten. Isn't it bad enough the faces of the company came out and said, "We keep using the same broken game engine because it's easier for us to use"? Why do fans support this company and that kind of behaviour? It only results in a company claiming they will give you a whole new Fallout experience and then just put burnt zombies in it. So I ask again, why do people keep falling for this? Is this going to happen all over again with Elder Scrolls 6? Or that space one they're going on about? What about the one after that? For those of you thinking, oh gosh, he's just a classic Fallout fan. Well, I don't enjoy any of the Fallout games, be it the more contemporary ones or the earlier isometric games. I just don't enjoy the game's setting. An irradiated world is a dead world, along with everything that lived in it. Am I just a closet Bethesda fan who got burnt like the zombies in this game? Why not let me know your opinion below? While I'm on the subject of why do people keep falling for this, I had to ask myself that very question a week after picking up Bless Online 2018 Steam Edition. And my only answer is, I guess I'm a hypocrite. Clearly nothing new to me. I am after all an advocate that everyone is a hypocrite, they just don't know it. Before this game was released, I knew I was feeling hype, be it only minorly, but hyped nonetheless. The game came out and it was a clunky mess, and it still is to this day. Keep in mind I am not including opening day / week jitters. I've played enough MMOs to know launch and patch days are never without issues. However, even the basic combat controls suffer. By default, the Alt key is disallowed for use in combinations with other keys for chaining skills together, and skill buttons cannot be bound to the same one, allowing you to use chain combinations on the same key press. Even a decade-old MMO has this function. I don't see why this one couldn't have. And I'm barely even going to mention all the rubber banding that happens in this game. I'm happy enough to put that down to Australian internet, but I shouldn't have to. I decided to give it another go recently in November, and it was still just as janky as it was when it was released. The advertised harmonic combat is still not implemented, and now the game is nearly player barren. Fittingly disappointing. Well, that's my scheduled disappointment for this year. I gave you my view, so what's yours? Got anything to add? Maybe I wasn't clear enough on the subject I brought up. Let me know. Text balls are accepted, if not expected. I'm a Jaded Gamer. Thank you for watching. Oh, jeez. How did I forget about Conan Exiles? And Frostpunk's bugged achievements, every patch. Oh, and what about Monster Hunter World? Oh my fucking god, what the hell happened? Any PC port for that matter. Oh god, what about...